Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of After 30 with Cara Eriguel. It has been a while, but I feel amazing. It's great to be back. And I actually have a really, um, ano ba? Valuable, I can't think of the word, an amazing guest today on the show. I haven't actually heard from her in a while. I feel like this will be a catch up episode. But before we get to that, I want to, wish you guys well. I hope you're well. And I hope you are dealing with life okay right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, nothing ever is. But I hope you guys are okay. Two words that kind of have been shaking me up lately, and this person we're about to talk to as well, is starting over. Two words that elicit such a nauseating and unsettling feeling, especially in our 30s. But it's an amazing time to start over, right? Ang dami nagsasabi nun, in your 30s. Most people at this age are pretty set in their ways, though. True. And that's one of the reasons why we crave excitement, new adventures, different experiences, and fear taking the leap at the same time. As you step into the season of your life, many things will end and start so that you can create a life that you absolutely enjoy. Our 30s is the perfect time to reevaluate our priorities. Being successful in this means living a life that is varied, exciting, challenging, and ever evolving. It means finding ways to reinvent yourself, even if they don't fit in with the cultural norms you are surrounded by. Your 30s are the perfect time to begin a new life. All it takes is being open to the possibility and seeing that who you are now, is not who you have to be forever. Can you really start over in your 30s? Would it have all been pointless? All your work, all your life choices that brought you here today, you ask? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Now, you are at the perfect headspace to reflect on what's working for you, what's not, and what you would like to change. Where do I go from here, you're asking? How do I start over? How does it really feel when I start over? On today's episode, we're talking, like I said, to a very good friend of mine who now lives on the other side of the world, who probably already has a British accent, a former radio DJ, a host, and a fellow podcaster of mine. Everybody, please welcome back on the show, Rica Garcia. Hi.
Yay! Wow. I love the
Hello.
introduction. Made me think about a lot of things. And no, I don't have a British accent yet. I'm still in my American English accent, which, by the way, I think a lot of like my first week here in the UK, which, by the way, yes, I'm in the UK. Um, a lot of people have been telling me now, oh, you have an American accent. I didn't expect that from you. And I'm like, what did you expect from my face? I don't know.
I know.
It's
We
so
get that a
weird.
lot. Filipinos
Yeah.
who speak, I guess,
Yeah.
eloquently, who speak good English, get that
Mhm.
a lot from people
Mhm.
who, speak the language, I guess, more naturally or first, diba? First, ano
Yeah.
nila, language nila. Parang, I'm so surprised. How did you expect me to sound? Like this? Is this how I should
Exactly.
be talking?
Exactly. Pero yeah, it's been such a crazy experience moving here. And I mean, if I could talk about like all the new things that I've seen and I've been to, I could go on and on. Pero syempre, I mean like aside from all of that, I also went I also go through a lot of like crappy days, even if like sabihin natin na, oh, you're in such an amazing country, alam mo yun. And then, you have the king there and the royal family.
Oh my
Which, by the
God.
way, hindi ko pa
Ano?
nakikita. Hindi ko pa sila nakikita.
Saan mo sila makikita ever? Have you ever been to
No,
an area where you could possibly bump into them?
I think, di ba kapag merong mga parang event, gano'n, may mga event, tas
Uh,
parang they go through the public. Pero kasi minsan sobrang laki nung, I mean like sobrang sikip and like you have to go to London, you have to go to the central, place. So, yeah, pero it's been a roller coaster of a year. I think
has it
that's
been a
like
year?
almost, yeah, kasi
Almost.
yeah, kasi I
September, no?
started September. Yeah. So
Almost a year.
I
Parang
think
1 month
last
apart tayo,
year.
mamsh. Ay,
Yes,
mamsh.
yeah,
Na
exact.
mamsh tuloy kita. Sorry guys, we call each other mamsh off the air when we're not
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
podcasters.
What should I call you when we're in a podcast, ma'am?
Ma'am, madam,
Madam.
with a Z, madam.
um, but yeah, it's almost been a year, and then I remember this time last year I bought my ticket like randomly one night, and then 4 weeks later I was here.
That was
And
fast. That was very fast.
it is so weird because at this time last year also I was packing my life from the Philippines to here. But today I'm actually again packing to leave this house that I've been staying in for a year, and I'm moving to who knows. It's a transition phase. Yeah, I mean I don't know where to go honestly. I'm just packing my bags, 'di ba? Very very movie
I'm
movie
going to say
movie
very adventurous and yes, very how very ano ba?
movie
Oo,
like.
movie. Very Notting Hill type.
Oo,
Alam mo yung nandiyan ka
ganon.
ba? Pelikula na yung life mo. No, no, but I
It's
love how
actually
you opened it up with
mm,
that, Rika. As a host yourself, no, you've brought the conversation straight to a very important part of it. I guess I've opened it up that way to kind of set us up for the more real things that we're about to talk to. How you've really been feeling. Like, I mean, it's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Everything you post, I follow you. Of course I follow you. Hello. But I mean, what I mean is like I follow with the progress, your life there, and
mm.
we check in on each other once in a while, and I really am happy for you. And also because you're my friend and I know you well, I know that there are other deeper questions that I should be asking you and I should be checking on you, with. And like I mentioned earlier, I moved from Manila to the province in August, and Rika moved from Manila, from the Philippines to the UK in September, just like on a month apart. And we're technically going through a lot of the same emotions, diba? A lot of the same feelings, just in different, I guess, variations. But I want to start by asking you first, what made you decide to take the leap and move to a different country in your late 20s? And were you afraid at all?
Actually, during the whole lockdown, the whole pandemic, I was actually looking for a place to move to. So I really wanted to take my master's, as in for like maybe a solid 2 years. I've been telling people that before I'm 30, I'm gonna take my master's degree and I'm gonna finish my master's degree. And that's when I realized that manifestation really works, or like repeating
Mm-hmm.
yourself really works, because it happened. But at that point, like during the pandemic, I didn't know where to go. Well, obviously, it's because the countries were still closed.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking Australia, Korea, but it never really panned out. As in, I even took Korean classes because I know that I could possibly
Mm-hmm.
go there. And then I was looking up sponsorships. Scholarships, and then I was already looking like in New York. As in ganon. Talagang like my head was already out there in the clouds. And
Mm-hmm.
then eventually, so I met my boyfriend, Ryan, a year
Shout
before.
out.
Yes.
Shout out to Ryan. Oh.
Ano hindi. Wait, sorry, professional. So I met my
Wait,
boyfriend,
I'm thankful na
Ryan.
di ka pa rin nagbabago 1 year living in the UK. You're still
No,
you.
no, I can't shake it off. But yeah, so we met, and then when we were dating, he actually had kind of like minor plans to move to the UK because he's a nurse. And
Mm.
there are a lot of like openings for nurses here in the UK. Tapos parang napaisip ako, bakit hindi sa UK? I think it's such an, like, for me, never ko siya naisip. So I looked into it, and then I realized that, and then with the help of like a lot of other people, because I went through an educational parang tawag dito, agency, which was
Mm.
free, and they really supported me with everything, and they even told me that actually, I don't think a lot of people know this, but if you move or if you study in the UK, it's actually not that kumbaga parang hindi siya unattainable, parang
Mhm.
gano'n.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah. So
as
parang
unattainable as most people
oo,
assume.
would assume. So parang ako, "Oh, okay." So, one drunken night, okay, ito talaga yung nagsimula nito. One drunken night, I got
Uh,
really, really drunk by myself at home in my apartment. I'm so sorry. I don't condone like, excessive drinking.
I mean, come
But
on.
I
Sometimes we
mean,
need it.
I know. So I was going through a phase, sorry, mom. I booked I booked myself the IELTS exam, so the English exam, because you need that. And that's like
Mm,
I feel like
mhm.
that's the start of the whole process for you. Kasi for you to apply for a lot of things, you need the IELTS exam. So parang for me, pinaput off ko siya for such a long time. And then eventually one night when I got drunk, I booked myself an IELTS exam. And then I slept. The next day, I got an email with the date of my exam. And then that's it. Tuloy-tuloy na siya. It was like a snowball. It snowballed. Yeah. Kasi parang naisip ko at that point, I already spent that much money for the IELTS exam. There's no turning back. So, ayun. So, I think a lot of people also, questioned the parang, and even my parents, na parang, did you do this because, your boyfriend is going there? But honestly, I
Mm.
don't want to lie anymore. Partly. Yeah. Obviously. Well, I mean, like,
Yeah, hello.
'di ba? I mean,
So
I
what?
don't wanna sugarcoat it. So what? Exactly. Na parang I don't wanna sugarcoat it anymore. And yeah, that story in itself is like a different layer as well. Kasi syempre you have to think about the relationship. Although I never ever think about like breaking up or whatever. Pero syempre, a lot of people think about that. Na parang, oh, what if it doesn't work out? But I
Mm.
never ko siya inisip. Never ko siya inisip. So, yeah,
Huwag mo na
so
isipin mamaya
there, that
ma-manifest mo pa, eh, lakas ng manifestation
hindi
kaya ng utak mo,
nga, eh,
hello,
actually yung
diyan ka
powers
na,
ko, eh, gano'n, 'no?
'di ba?
Oo, hindi, pero never ko siya inisip talaga. And, and for me, I don't really shy away from that question, and
Mhm.
that's it. Yeah, so I'm here, and we've been trying to figure it out for a year kasi I live in Bristol, which is, like, 3 hours away from where he
Mm.
lives.
Goodness.
Um, oh my gosh, mom,
Layo
you ay,
pala.
sorry. Ma'am, ma'am.
Go lang! Huwag na tayo
No.
mag-pretend, please lang,
No, 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 but you will love Bristol. As in you will enjoy it here. It's like I know that like a lot of people probably have an idea what London is.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of like a similar thing, but it's more para siyang malaking Cubao X. Gets mo ba?
Okay.
Yung parang siyang
So yung
very
art scene
artsy.
is,
Yeah, exactly. Like there are a lot of
and
like
food.
vintage shops and like the people here. It's just it's really nice. Yeah, yun yung
I can't
description
wait
ko
to
ng
visit
Bristol.
you. Parang Cubao X.
Oo.
Okay, gets
Anyway.
naman agad.
Oo, 'di ba?
I'm
Okay.
sure I would love it. I look forward to visiting you there. Let's manifest it, okay? Let's
Okay.
manifest it. We're gonna
Manifest.
get there. But for now, warm up muna natin yung mga puwet
I know.
natin where we've moved ourselves. No, but
Mm.
it's I am still in awe of like my second question, sort of follow up question to that question to you, was were you afraid at all? Because there will
Oh
always
yeah.
be fear, and by you're taking a huge leap, man. Yung akin, parang 2 taon na kaming kasal ni Pao and something grave had to happen for me, and for me to actually pack up and leave and move from Manila to here. It
Mhm.
took a while. Ikaw,
Mhm.
to me at least, it just seems like you were drunk one night, you did this, you booked a ticket, and you were gone in like a month. What was the thought process like? Was it, if you were afraid, how did you just like, para ka bang tumalon nakapikit, bala na? Ganon?
You know what? The book that really helped me throughout that whole process last year during this time, ito talaga yun eh, June, July, August, was
Mm.
Atomic Habits. Muntik na
Mm.
ako maano
Mhm.
dun, mabulol. Atomic Habits. So, kasi it was such a big, big, big decision in my head that when I was listening to Atomic Habits, I was listening to an ebook, um, parang na-realize ko na, okay, just do this one little tiny thing. Tapos, next ulit. Gano'n. and then I didn't realize that I was already in Naiya, going to the plane and then packing on my bag. You know what I mean? Na parang
Yeah.
sobrang nakatulong talaga sa akin yung Atomic Habits and even that type of thing. You don't even have to read the book. Basically, it's just doing one tiny little thing in that big task, and then you won't realize
Mm-hmm.
it that you're already done with the whole task. So, um but yes, I was afraid to answer the question. I was afraid every single time. But I think the reason why I didn't feel like I wanted to stop is because yun nga. Kasi I was doing one tiny little thing. So like when I
Mm-hmm.
was taking my IELTS exam, all I did was, okay, magsha-sharpen lang muna ako ng pencil. Ganon. Ganon siya kaliit. Like, okay, I'm just gonna put on my shoes and then I'm gonna go to Marco Polo
Mm.
kasi dun yung by the way, sa Marco Polo yung IELTS exam ko,
Ah.
weird. Tapos
Ah.
and then I'm just gonna go to the elevator. Gano'n, as in gano'n talaga, like little tiny steps. I know it sounds insane,
No, it
but
doesn't. It makes so much sense. It
yeah.
does.
So
Because one of the biggest reasons why people don't push through with the big stuff is because it's big and you think that it's
mhm,
big, and that makes you feel like it's too big for me to handle and I can't get there.
mhm.
Like, how do I get there? But that's exactly the answer to it. How you get there is to take one little step at a time and then you'll eventually
Yeah.
get there.
I know it
Galing!
sounds thank you, but you know what? When I talk about it out loud, it seems like I'm parang kumbaga parang baka nafe-feel ng mga tao, oh, parang namang ang dali-dali niyan sa'yo. It looks so easy for you. But promise talaga, if that's no, but promise, it's like that type of mentality really, really helped me. And if it resonates, with you, then go ahead and try it out because I really recommend it talaga to the listeners.
I
Yeah.
completely believe in that.
Mm-mm.
I really, really believe in that. Most of our everyday decisions rely a lot on the subconscious, I guess, with what consciously kasi, 'di ba? Okay, you think you get up in the morning and these are the things you need to do. But the things that your ano ba, that kind of ano ba, the subconscious controls, 'di ba, the way we
Mhm.
breathe, which you're not aware of most of the time. You breathing your digestion, 'di ba? It's your subconscious that controls everything else that happens naturally in your body. And I think yung taking one step at a time is sort of putting your conscious and your subconscious in tune. Parang pinagmi-meet mo sila. I'm
Yeah.
overthinking this. Pero pinag-meet mo sila you're making one big thing into a natural thing, into a
Yeah.
thing that you actually do anyway. Like you're taking
Mhm.
the IELTS exam, but you naturally sharpen pencils anyway. This is just sharpening a pencil. It's not,
Yeah.
I'm not taking an exam and changing my life
Exactly.
potentially.
Yeah.
Diba? Okay, I've said way too many things. But what were the biggest challenges you had when you moved? Like, I'm sure there are a lot.
Mm.
Apart from diba, financially and also packing up your life, saying goodbye to friends, even ano ba, welcoming the
Mm.
possibility of huge change. Like, ano yung pinakamalaking challenges for you?
Because initially at that point, I co-owned a coffee shop last year. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think it was also such a big change for my partner in the coffee shop. And then parang hindi na rin namin napag-usapan. We failed to talk about it. Well, I failed to talk about it. And then there were a lot of different things. I tried to work it out when I was here. I was still, ordering stuff and doing stuff for the coffee shop, but it didn't really work out. We had to make a big girl decision, which kudos to my partner must have been so hard for her to like make that decision, and it was really hard for me also to make that decision because it's my baby, you know what I mean? It was my baby, but
Yeah.
I had to make a decision as well. So I made the decision of moving here, tried to work it out. So I think talaga that was really the biggest challenge because there was still something that kumbaga para I didn't tie loose ends in the Philippines. That's what I felt.
Oh my God, meron
And
kang literal na unfinished business, ma'am.
oh, literal. Well, it
Ah.
wasn't unfit. It's more of like ongoing business.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was an ongoing business, but yeah, unfinished business. So that happened, and I feel like yun talaga yung pinaka mahirap for me, aside from obviously leaving my family. This is
Mm-hmm.
something that, my partner and I created, and, we went through a lot of challenges, and then aalis na lang ako bigla. Parang ganon, na
Mm-hmm.
parang I didn't want her to make I didn't want the coffee shop, and I didn't want her to feel like wala lang to sa akin, that this
Mm-hmm.
isn't such a big decision. And yeah, that was really it. Aside from that, as in French, alam mo ba, when I moved here, I suddenly thought about all of my friendships that I had before, na parang na-realize ko kung sino yung totoong kaibigan, na-realize ko kung bakit sometimes parang I felt like I was escaping a friendship, parang gano'n. Yung
Mm-hmm.
parang, gets mo ba? Na parang dahil aalis
Mm-hmm.
na ako, I don't have to talk to this person anymore. I don't have to pretend that I like them or whatever. Gano'n, yan. Napaisip ako talaga with everything. Tapos,
Wait. Kasama ba ako
yeah.
sa listahan mo ng tunay na kaibigan mo? Kasama naman ako, no?
Siyempre, siyempre. Nakaukit yung
What
ano
an
mo,
honor.
yung
Thank
name
you.
mo. No, but yeah. It really made me think about a lot of things. But that was really one of the biggest challenges, was to leave that behind. And like I said, big girl decisions. And
Yeah.
I just had to suck it up, really.
I
So,
remember you talking
yeah.
about that a
Mm-hmm,
lot
mm-hmm,
during the course of your move, and even the first few times that we were kind of catching up, but you were still
mm-hmm.
it really it uh it bothered you. It stayed
Oh,
with
yeah.
you for a while,
Mm-hmm.
diba? What did you learn about yourself through that process, like because of that challenge, and the process of being able to put on your big girl pants and making
Mm-hmm.
big girl decisions?
Um, well, in relation to like leaving the business and everything,
Yeah,
parang
I guess.
ganon. Actually, one realization that or parang one thing that I really learned about myself during that whole thing, and especially after when I had to leave the business. Kasi parang I felt na, shocks, parang I failed. I failed this task of mine. Na parang
Mm-hmm.
dapat, this is something that I do, pero I failed. That's why I had to leave, 'di ba? Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, So, initially napaisip ako na parang younger Rika would have thought na parang, "Oh, shucks, you're such a failure." Younger Rika would have beaten herself up thinking that, "No, this can't be." As in, like, I will beat myself up thinking na, "No, you failed, you failed, you failed." But then when I went through that, I realized na parang, "Oh, I can suck up failure." Yung parang medyo
Failure's not so bad.
yeah, yung parang napaisip ako na parang, okay, like, I can accept it. Kasi before, what I would have done is make up excuses and, talk shit
Mm.
about other people and stuff like that. So,
Why?
yung ganon. Yeah, younger
Uh,
Rika is not wise.
well, our younger selves aren't
Mm.
very wise.
So, when I went through that, I kind of accepted it. Parang I sat with myself, I sat with the feeling of failure, and I sat with myself and thinking, okay, you failed this, and then you can feel it. Okay, you can feel this weird emotion, and then move on. So parang
Mm.
napaisip tuloy ako that that is such a good practice for me, because I am sure I will fail a lot more times in the future. And knowing that I can sit with that failure is just, 'di ba? I don't have to think about it anymore. So, but hopefully I don't. Being a Pisces perfectionist
Ano
myself.
ba?
Hopefully I don't.
Failure is inevitable. The
I
thing
know.
is,
I
if you
know.
don't fail at something, then how will you know that? How will you know to improve? 'Di ba?
Mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
ideally, hindi tayo nagfe-fail. Perfect tayo in our heads. Gusto natin perfect. Hindi tayo nasasaktan. Failure sounds like such a bad thing. But there's such a thing as failing. This book, 'di ba? Failing forward. You
Mhm,
fail. When you fail, it means you tried. Sounds so
mhm.
preachy. It means you tried, and then you
Yeah.
have the chance to try again. Now with the knowledge of the failure, oh, okay, I failed here because this and this and this and this. And then now you can make those little steps moving
Mhm,
forward. How do I make it better? How do I, or maybe even if you fail and then you realize maybe I failed because this really isn't for me, I don't love it enough,
Mm.
then I'll try something else. If you didn't fail, and if you're just so la da 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 coursing through life, andun ka lang unhappy forever. Or eto ka
Uh-uh.
na lang, wala, 'di ba? That happens to a
Yeah.
lot of us because we want to stay in our comfort zone.
Yun nga eh, parang napaisip ako na parang, did that have to happen for me to be happier? Parang gano'n, na parang did that have to happen? But I try not to think about that. To protect myself.
I feel like a lot of things happen for us, not necessarily to us. Like, happens
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah,
us
yeah.
one way or another, to teach us something, or to just, gusto ko yung sinabi mo na you learn to sit with the failure, sit with
Mm.
yourself, and go through it. That's the difference between people who are able to move forward and people who aren't, diba? Is to sit with the uncomfortable feeling and to deal
Mm.
with it head on. Ang dami sa atin, myself included, 'di ba? Mas madali kasi to just be like, oh God, I failed. Okay, how do I? And then next, 'di ba? Or like, no, it's not. Or you beat yourself up, or you bury it down. You don't deal with it. You move on to the next. Move on to the next. You busy yourself with hobbies or another type of ganito, another type of
Yeah, yeah.
ganyan. Hindi mo siya. You didn't get to deal with it. So that's wonderful that now you're able to do that. This Rika, this version of Rika. But what helped Rika, this version of Rika, adjust to the new environment? My God, I mean, I can only imagine. Yung akin pa lang, nasa Pilipinas ako, girl ibang ano lang. Like, okay, they're Bisaya here, and
Yeah.
it's
Can you
probinsya, and
speak? Can you speak Bisaya a little bit?
gamay, a little bit. Like,
A
I
little bit.
can buy food, I can get places. Like,
Oh, that's so exciting.
I feel like like people who are, I guess, in the same
Mm.
profession, maybe, or like a lot of people who like to talk and like to read and like to listen. Language ang strength natin So I feel
Yeah.
like it's a little bit easier for us to adapt that way. But I won't ask you the same question, of course, because you do speak English. But what what, what helped you adjust to the new environment, the new
um,
people, new everything, and being away from your comfort zone?
you know what? Ryan and I were talking about it the other day. Na sinabi niya na, you know what? I don't really feel like I'm in another country. I just felt, kumbaga yung parang, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so weird. Maybe also because we're also surrounded by a lot of Filipinos. Because in his area, there are a lot of Filipinos. And it just
Mm.
so happens that when we got here, we just we kind of, yeah, bago yung commuting and bago yung train systems and everything, but you learn it in one day. You already know stuff in one day, so it doesn't feel like everything is different. And especially I think it really helped that, people speak English here, and
Mhm.
it's really easy to ask questions, directions, and everything. So it never felt like I was a foreign person. And I
Mhm.
think it also helps that the mentality of people here, and I don't want to like generalize, but that's just what I felt. The mentality of like the people that I interacted with, they're like global thinking na parang, okay, you're Filipino. Okay. Yung parang they're not closed off with people from other countries because it is a hub, like, UK, it's like a hub of different nationalities in here.
Mhm.
So they're all super open. Whenever I say that, oh, I'm actually Filipino, they're like, oh, cool. And then they maybe ask one question about the Philippines, or like they say that they've been to Cebu or something. So yung parang ganon. And I never felt like, oh, you're from Asia or you're from the Philippines. What's it like there? Or like,
Mhm.
you have brown skin or whatever. Hindi bago. Alam mo yun? So,
Ah.
which meant that it made me feel like I just belong here. I'm
Oh,
not,
that's
hindi
nice.
ako others. Parang ganun.
Ah.
Hindi ako others. Yeah,
I love
so
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's such a nice experience, and hopefully it continues that way, even in during my internship, because obviously I had to be in like a company, and I would
Mm.
think that the company that I'm interning with are like all UK residents or lahat sila like taga UK ganyan. And
Mm-mm.
then I thought that being Filipino would matter na parang, oh, hindi ka taga dito and then you're working here. But it doesn't matter. They just gave me a task and all they wanted to do is for me to work. Akala ko talaga they would expect na parang, can you speak English or stuff like that. No, they're like,
Wow.
these
Why
are
are we
all
so
just,
surprised?
I know, like,
What
no,
are
no, no,
all
no.
these expectations from us?
No, they didn't expect that from me. They actually just like it was just like a normal internship. Ako lang yun. It was just my anxious
Yeah.
thoughts. Na parang,
Exactly.
oh, maybe it would matter if, I say that I'm Filipino. And then biglang when I went into the meeting, they're all like, "Hello, Rika. This is your job. Go do your work." So, yeah, that really helped with the whole move when I was here already. And you know me, I think one of my, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but for me, I like new things. I'm
Yeah.
excited by exploring the train system and how to go here by myself and how to book this by myself. I like I like doing things alone. I like
Yeah.
exploring and getting to know things. So hindi siya kasi one of the biggest things that I had to explore was the train system kasi I had to go from Bristol to where Ryan was kasi it takes 3 hours
Mm.
or two and a half hours. So that was pretty exciting for me. As in, the first day I got here, I took the bus to Bristol, which was 3 hours. The next day I took the train back to London for 3 hours again, not knowing anything. But for me, that's exciting. And for some people, it might be terrifying, but for me, it's exciting. Yeah.
I absolutely love that for you, Rika. I know. I know you're really adventurous. You like doing things on your own. You're very independent. And you again, diba, it's the way you look at things that makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
You like exploring new things. You like new adventures. You like getting lost and finding your way, which is great. You're at the perfect place at the perfect time for that. For all of those things.
Yeah,
Ba't
you
ako
know
hindi
that
ganon? Charing.
feeling?
Dito kasi walang ganyan eh.
No, but then you do drive around, right? You do drive
I do, I
around.
do, I do. Like I said, we're both dealing with a lot of changes, dealing with
Yeah.
change, dealing with moving our lives from one place to another with different experiences also. Like mine naman is I love traveling too. I mean, I love
Yeah.
that. Like I used to what I used to do. I used to host for O Shopping, and we would go to Korea every month. And I liked going out alone and getting lost. Like I was freaking alone on Valentine's Day there in 2017, going around, getting lost, meeting new people. I love that. I really love that.
Yeah.
And that's why I was all the more like, okay, now that I'm here, and that I also have these discussions with my husband. Like, you like exploring new places. How come you don't like exploring here? And I'm like,
Mm.
"Ko alam. I've been here. I've been here many times. I don't know." Like, to me, it doesn't feel new. To me, it
Yeah.
actually, that's why it took a while for me to, I guess, adjust to living here, because to me, it
Mhm.
always felt like a vacation. This
Yeah.
coming to here, where I am now, coming to this place, felt to me like I'm getting away from the busyness and la la la. And
Mm.
now I'm here. I live here. It's parang, "Hala, okay, wait. Asan na yung busy? Asan na yung ano? Di ba mas ganon siya? Asan na yung,
Oh my
yung
gosh.
stress? Ganon. It's different.
I
It's
do
different. Maybe.
remember it is such a different time also because do remember all of the times that we go to the mall after work and then we just like window shop. That was because it was so accessible na, and especially it must be so different for you na parang before it was so accessible, 5 minutes nasa mall ka na and we can eat out, we can do shopping, you know. Actually,
Yup.
ako yung budol friend ni Kara, the original one. Whenever Kara would go shopping, I would always tell her, "Get that
Go!
na!
You
Go!"
deserve it!
'Di ba?
The shopping
It's
hasn't changed for me. I feel like
oh,
it's
yeah.
gotten worse because of freaking online
Online
shopping,
shop.
and because I'm like, there's nowhere to shop here,
Yeah,
there's,
uh-huh.
and yet I think those are the things, little art. I'm calling it little arte things now that I miss, the little conveniences of
Mhm.
getting a massage, of going out and getting good food, or getting like, I miss like freaking Uncle Mose. Alam mo yun? Like, I miss Uncle Mose.
Bring Uncle Mose there then.
Mga
Franchise.
kaartehan lang. Yun lang.
Uh,
Namimiss ko lang, I guess, yung mga nakasanayan ko, the
yeah.
conveniences of things. But on a bigger scale, like, yo, very grateful to be here in this
Mm-hmm.
place. It's really, I think what we need to know and to let the people know who are going through all these changes in their lives and who are thinking about going through a shift in your life is that it's normal for it to take a while. Actually, in fact, it will take a while.
Oh yeah, for
It
sure.
will take a while because you will be grieving the loss of what you were so used to, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Of coming out of your comfort zone. And definitely it will feel uncomfortable. And you need to
Mm-hmm.
be able to sit with the discomfort and to allow it to help you grow into a better person and learn new things about yourself.
I think what really helped when I moved here also was I was exploring new things and it didn't feel scary because I was with Ryan. I was with somebody who was
Mm.
experiencing the same thing. And I know that
Ah,
might
yeah.
not be, yeah, that might not be something that people would go through. Yung parang it's a rare type of thing na parang you move to a new country and then you're with somebody right away. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that really helped and I'm really thankful for that. I never take it for granted really. So yeah, that really helped when I moved here. But I mean, I'm not saying that there were no challenges when I first moved here. Because when I first moved here, I only had an Airbnb booked for 2 weeks and I had to look for a place. I had to look for a place in a country where I don't know how to rent. I don't know what you need. I don't have a bank account. None.
How did
So
you start all of that? Okay, I know you're about to say I took it one little step at a time, okay?
yeah,
I
yeah,
already
yeah.
know. I already know that that's how it's helping you. But like maybe for people who are listening right now who are thinking of doing the same thing. Like how did you go about that? Opening your bank account, finding a place to go, what did you go? Who
Mhm.
did you go to? What helped you?
Well, for when I moved here, I only had an Airbnb for 2 weeks. So that was my deadline to find a place. I didn't know that there was a renting crisis, cost of living crisis already happening here. But I got really, really lucky. So I found this place where I'm staying at right now. I found this place through apps, yung renting apps. And
Mhm.
I'm not sure if we have those things in the Philippines. Maybe websites, pero dito kasi they have
Mhm.
apps. And then I just went through one of the apps. I contacted maybe 10 people. And then
Mhm.
this is the only place that I viewed and I already nung nakita ko na it was good, the landlord was nice. They had a kitchen which was great. I didn't have to buy a bed. I said, "Where do I pay? How do I pay?" So, that pushed me. I think that pushed me to open my bank account, which is super easy. You just do it online. And then that pushed me next naman to transfer all my money from the Philippines to the UK. Akala mo ang
All
daming
of your
pere.
money.
Akala mo,
All
akala mo ang dami.
everything. So you ano ba?
Yeah.
Wait, so you
Yeah.
closed your bank accounts here already?
Siguro there was a like there's an emergency like
Okay.
family fund na parang
Mm.
in case lang.
Mm. Mm.
Pero yeah, basically and then kumbaga parang each move pushed me to make the next move. It's kind of like a
Mhm.
prerequisite because if I
Atomic
didn't have a place
Habits.
exactly. So, if I didn't make the booking for only 2 weeks for my Airbnb, I wouldn't have looked for a place. If I didn't look for a place,
Right.
I wouldn't have opened the bank account. So it's not like a checklist that I had in my head. It was more of like stairs. It was
Mhm.
steps that I had to take. Because if it were checklists in my head, wala akong magagawa. Because I don't know where to start. I don't know where
Yeah.
to start. So I started with the most important thing, which is a roof over my head. And like I said, I am just so lucky to be able to have found this place. Quiet, good housemates. We never see each other. That's my definition of good
It's
housemate.
for you. Exactly. It's so perfect for you. You don't need to hug anybody.
No, I don't. One of my housemates, they don't know my name. Literally, there was this one time I said hi to one of my housemates who I never see. He didn't know me. He didn't acknowledge me. It's
Who the
funny. I
hell
think
are
it's
you?
funny.
What are you doing in my home?
Hindi, sa labas. So, parang nasa labas ako. Tapos parang nag-hi ako sa kanya. And he was like, who are you? But it's funny. It's funny because for me, the perfect housemates would be the people who I barely see. But I do see them sometimes. Like, hello, hi. You know.
But you don't need
But
to
yeah,
interact with them. Yeah, I
I
gets.
got so super lucky with this one. And then that's it really. I mean, like when it comes to the university stuff, I think they have it all worked out.
Mm-hmm.
When you're I think that's also one of the things that made it easier to transition from my life to the UK from here because instantly you have something to do. Instantly
Hmm.
you have classmates, you have instant friends, you know what I mean? But that's
Right.
another thing because, having adult friends is different. Making adult friends is different. You know what I mean? Na parang, hindi siya ganun
Yeah, girl.
kadali na parang to break through to people. But yeah,
Yeah.
there.
Now, kasi you're more, ano na eh. I mean, you've made friends. You
Yeah.
know? You know the friends you like. So now, it's not just like, let's be friends and see where it goes. It's more in your head. You're like,
Mm, I mean, I already have a hugger friend. I already have Kara Egel.
That's enough.
I'm good.
But I'm not there to hug
I
you
know.
though. No, but making friends in a different place is also
Mm-hmm.
very important because it affects you a lot. You know what they say,
Mm-hmm.
and we hear this all. Probably we heard it a lot growing up. Like who you surround. Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. Or like who you surround yourself with is essentially who you will be. And that's why it's also kind of hard because you're dealing with a lot of stuff when you move to a different place. Maybe that's also another different thing. Like at least for me, I'm also learning a lot of things from you, but trying to like pinpoint, okay, where did I go wrong? The joke lang. Bakit iba yung
Grabe.
experience ko? The joke lang, joke lang. Like why is it okay? What's the difference with my experience in that case? And it made it clear a little bit when you said when you get there, meron ka na kasing like clear set something that you're supposed to do. I think that's
Exactly.
also
Mm-mm.
another difference for me when I came here. I had not I didn't know what to do.
Mm.
Although there were a lot of opportunities, which I am very grateful for, and took me a while to get to that and to even accept it and to even call it a thing for me. I just posted something online a while ago. Anyway, for me, it was just in the beginning, it's something to keep me busy, but now it's apparently giving me purpose, which is amazing. But that this can also, I mean, luckily for you, you went there for a reason. You moved your
Mhm.
life for a reason. You knew what you went there for. I moved for a reason too, of course. I mean, to be with my husband and to start a family, not knowing how, 'di ba? Wala pa akong ganun, wala akong
Yeah.
move from here and then this is the mold I will be.
Oo.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, ito yung gagawin ko. Wala akong ganon. So it took also a while, I guess, to figure that out. And that will happen for a lot of us. Maybe for people who will give up their jobs and move to a different place or who will choose, maraming ganon na magbabago talaga completely. Yung buhay mo, mararata, mawawala yung, what do you call this, routine mo. And it
Yeah.
can be very scary and it can be tiring, but be welcoming of that also, like what
Mhm.
Rika said, diba? I-welcome mo yung change, i-welcome mo yung scary thing about change.
I mean, but if you think about it, you moved your life from Manila to to Davao, right there. I was thinking, hindi Cebu, diba?
Okay,
Hindi Cebu.
hindi girl.
To Davao.
Nakapunta ka na dito eh.
I know,
Hello.
I know, I know.
uh,
But I mean, for you to do that and to give up a lot of things and to give up a lot of um ang tawag dito, titles. Kasi before, 'di ba? Radio DJ,
titles,
ganyan, the titles.
yeah.
It must have been so scary. But look at where you are now. 'Di ba? I mean, the world didn't crumble.
Oh no, it didn't. Definitely. It
It
felt
didn't.
that way though in the beginning.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's how it's
it
always
will.
going to feel when you move
Mhm.
because you will grieve. You will change. I mean, you're out of your comfort zone. It will
Mhm.
feel like your world is crumbling. Especially if you've attached your whole personality and your happiness to your job, to your career, to
Mm.
your title, to everything you are in a certain place. So when you're moved out of that place and you don't have that job, that title anymore, then you'll feel like, who the hell am I then?
Exactly.
Who am
Exactly.
I? What's all this for?
Can I tell you about something that's kind of funny?
Yeah.
Because aside from us being radio DJs and that's how we're known, um, we do have an online presence, diba? And through that online presence, we get sponsorships, we get things sent to us and stuff like that. And then
Mm.
when I moved here, Ryan asked me, and I didn't expect it from him, pero
Mm-hmm.
sinabi niya sa akin na parang, aren't you sad that you won't get any more packages or like sponsorships or something like that? And then I was napaisip lang ako, oh nga no, I
Oh,
won't be getting
ano?
all those anymore. But
Yeah.
I was thinking, no, I don't actually feel sad about it. I don't actually feel sad about it. Kasi parang, it's something intangible. It's followers, like, you know what I mean? Instagram, if Instagram decided to just like turn off Instagram one day, I won't have that
Mm.
anymore. So I don't really attach that to who I am because it's
Mm.
so scary. Somebody has the power to take it all away. So I never really think na parang, hi, I'm Rika, I have blah 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 followers online. Yung ganon. So I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
thought of that. But oh nga, it was something that also changed, I think, that sort of culture. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean,
Gets.
but for me, honestly, I am so so proud of you. And every
Oh,
time
thank
I
you.
see, every time I see your home, I'm like, oh my god, what a one! You really do make a home. You do really make
Oh.
four walls into a home, because I remember seeing your first condo, the condo empty, and then the
Yeah.
next time I'm there, it's like full of plants and full of like personality and character, like I want to live here, you know what I mean? And I was so sure that that's what you were going to do in your home right now, and it's so beautiful. Yeah, and feeling
Don't
ko
make
para
me
aside from
cry.
namimiss ko na si Pugsley.
Oh, miss ka na
Oh,
rin ni Pugsley. He's so
we
happy
spent
here though.
I
He's so happy
know!
here.
Oh my
He loves it
gosh.
here. He barks at all the sheep, everything. Nang
He'll
hahabol
get
ng Hindi ko alam. Actually, mas
he
natatakot ako ngayon sa kanya
for the
dito kasi
sheep.
feeling niya matapang. Hindi, feeling niya
Ah,
matapang siya. Mas natatakot ako
mm.
for him than all the other animals in the farm. Horses, sheep, whatever. Because he feels like he's a big dog.
Oh
Like, wow, tapang ah.
no!
But
Oh
like,
no!
there
That's
are
so
snakes here.
cute.
I feel like he will
Oh my
bark at a
gosh!
snake and be
Yeah.
like, diba? Oh my God, wag naman sana. But like,
No, no.
but
But
thank you so much
guys,
for saying that.
if you guys didn't know, I actually babysat Pugsley
Yeah.
for how many weeks? 4 weeks?
A month yata.
A month. Yeah, 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 a month. Oh my gosh, we had so many memories. It was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah. I miss you so much. Ah. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. That you don't know how much it means to me. Um, yeah. But that's also why I moved here. It's to create a home, right? So
Yeah.
thank you.
Grabe yung coffee bar. Grabe yung coffee bar mo. The dream.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Come back when you're in
Oh
the
my
Philippines.
gosh.
Definitely
Yeah,
bumisita ka dito.
obviously,
Hello.
obviously. It's a stop.
Tama na, okay, wag tayong mag-iyakan. Okay.
I know, I
Moving
know.
on back para sa for our listeners. Now, I also want to know what because you thank God, thank you for mentioning Atomic Habits. I keep
Mhm.
going back to that book. Which is why I want to ask you the question like what new habits did you create to cope with the changes that's now helping you to build a new life that works for you? Because routines
Hmm.
malamang nagbago, 'di ba? Apart
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
oras
for sure.
mo, baliktad and
Mhm.
everything yun. So what new habits did you create?
I think I only started creating habits maybe this summer, maybe
Mhm.
just like a couple of months ago,
Mhm.
because the months before that, it was really, really hard for me to kind of go back to my active lifestyle. Because in the Philippines, it's always sunny. You can go out for a run, for a walk. The gym is there. Here, there's the winter time. And when I did get here, it was kind of going into winter. So
Mm,
that was one big change. First of all, a big change. First winter of my
weather.
life ever. It was
Wow.
so it was so beautiful. It was so icy. But at the same time, I didn't have that luxury to run outside anymore or, like do my workout or whatever. It was so cold. It was so cold. Kahit na you can do workouts inside, it was just so cold.
Lamig.
You cannot.
Mm,
Ang lamig. So, um, I I must say that was really one of the things that I struggled with, creating or kumbaga parang kind of like continuing what I was used to, continuing my own habits because you know me, my habits are just really working out activities. That's it. Sports activities. That's it.
mhm.
I'm a simple gal. I don't do pottery or I don't do whatever, but what really aligns me with myself is like sports and activities and being active. And I didn't get to do that at first. That was such a big change. I gained weight. Another
Mhm.
thing that is, I feel like we'll touch on that, but another thing that
Same,
changed.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then so this summer I vowed to myself to become more active because it's sunny outside up until 9 p.m. So
Oh, good.
I had
What the
yeah,
hell,
9 p.m. And then it's
girl?
sunny at like 4 a.m. Parang ganon. Sobra. It's crazy, but it's really nice. It's really nice. So I'm becoming more active, riding my bike, running a
Yeah,
lot,
I've been seeing
doing
that.
yoga. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Doing yoga and all of my favorite things. Um, that's really what aligns me to
Mhm.
who I am, what I
Yes.
know what to do. Alam mo yun,
Yeah.
muscle memory is real. And
Oh, yeah.
even if I haven't ridden my bike for months, when I went on the saddle, I
Mhm.
was like, this is who I am. It's calling my
Ah.
name.
I
Yeah.
love that for you. No, it's important to point that out that it did take a while for you to get
Mm,
back to your routine, diba? To get back to your
yeah, for
because
sure.
you were still you were still what's the word? Dealing with a change. You
Hmm.
know, you're still warming up your butt to the place, 'di ba? So ang dami mo pang ibang figure out. And then once so because you've gotten back to your routine kind of, that also means that you have you have warmed up and you have figured it out sort of in a way. So meron ka ng space to bring back your what you're used to
Yeah.
and your routine. And same
Actually,
for me, physical activities for me is more a
diba?
mental thing. More than
Mm,
I mean, of course, losing weight and staying fit and feeling healthy. For me, it's a mental thing. If I don't do it, I will feel sad and
mhm.
I will feel unfulfilled.
I mean, that's why we're friends. That's why we're friends. It's because that's one of the things that we bond over. Remember,
Oh
like we
yeah.
go to the
Mm-hmm.
gym and sometimes it's not even like you said, it's not even because we want to lose weight or have abs or whatever. But obviously that's a plus if it happens.
Yeah.
Come on, body. Come on, abs. It's a plus, but but like you said, it is more for my head. And yeah. And actually, parang feeling ko nga whenever I look at your Instagram story, sometimes I feel like it's a mirror because alam mo yun, yung parang, although, syempre, di ba, magkaiba tayo ng katawan,
Mhm.
I don't have, like, your abs.
I don't have abs, ma'am.
No, no, no. No, but, um, what do you call this? Like sometimes it's like looking into a mirror kasi parang naisip ko na, oh, I feel crappy today. Tapos I'm gonna work out. And then I go on your Instagram and then you're like, I had a bad day, so I went on the mat or something like that. Tapos parang wala lang, parang ganun talaga. It's
Aligned.
just, 'di ba? Aligned. It really helps. It really helps. So, I guess I don't know if maybe if you're not an active person, go back to the hobbies and all the activities that you're used to. But if you are an active
Mhm.
person, really that's one of the things that I super recommend. Going back to like
Yep.
running, actually even just walking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
walking
I feel like
outside.
when there's too much noise in your head,
Mm,
weird eh. Quiet time yung physical activity
mm,
for I don't know if for you also ganun siya, but for me, like nakakalma yung utak ko.
yeah.
Weird ba yun? Or it also, at the same time, it gives you a sense of accomplishment
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
you,
definitely.
diba? A huge sense of
Definitely.
accomplishment.
But can I just say, actually, when it comes, because you mentioned like maingay yung utak mo, I have a lot of thoughts in my head. I do
Mm-hmm.
have this thing where I cannot have a single minute in my life where nothing is playing. Like I need to have either music playing or TV show on my laptop because I know if I turn it off, I'll just go back. Yeah, exactly. I'll have all these thoughts in my head. And even while working out, I actually cannot work out without music.
Who
Or
works
else.
out
Yeah.
quiet?
Yeah.
Who works out without music? What kind of a freak are you?
There are people who do work out without music, and
Really?
honestly, yeah. Whenever
How?
I'm on my bike, I want to have music. I know like maybe some people don't do that, but I like
Mm-mm.
having music in my ears because it'll just not it won't become therapeutic for me. So yeah, tas parang for me napapaisip nga ako na parang am I is that is there something wrong with me that every minute of my life there needs to be something externally playing? Kasi hindi ko talaga kaya maglalaba, magluluto. Even when I go to sleep, I can't have silence. Like I need to have nature sounds on YouTube.
Talaga?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
gosh, I don't know. I don't know if some people relate, but that's what
I
happens to
super
me.
relate to you. I
Yeah.
super relate to you. I love playing Hello. There's always music. There's speakers everywhere, and my husband
Mhm.
isn't the same. I mean, he watches something over and over also on his laptop, whatever, when he's taking a
Mhm.
shower. But hindi siya ma-music. Ma-music ako, kailangan ko ng music. Tapos, so
Yeah.
nasanay na rin ako sa silence for a while, like going about my days, and curling my hair, doing my makeup, ganyan, in my little space. Ma'am, ito seryoso, kahapon lang, pinasok ko yung speakers dun sa labas, dun sa loob nung parang dressing room ko. Nag-play
Oh,
ako ng music habang nag-aano ako. Ang saya ko! Parang, ba't
'di
ngayon
ba?
ko lang ginawa to ulit? Ano ba yan? Ba't ang tagal kong nalulungkot, nag-aayos ng, my God! Music, gosh,
Exactly.
I super get you. And also with the sleeping, for as far as I can remember, when I was younger, I needed the TV to be playing in the background for me to fall asleep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mababang mababa, pero dapat
Yeah.
may tunog.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what it is, actually.
I
Oh,
don't know, maybe it's an ADD thing, I don't know.
maybe, maybe.
Last few questions for me, girl. Magto 2 parts yata tayo. Sabi ko, 1 hour lang. Hindi eh. 1 hour na tayo eh.
I
Papa ng
know.
chika. Okay. You just turned 30.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
You're
I don't
30!
feel 30 though. I don't
How
feel
are you
30.
supposed to feel? Oh,
I
wait.
know,
I
I
know
don't
how to
know.
answer that. I know how to
Yeah.
answer that. Does your back hurt?
My what?
Does your back hurt?
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
yeah, that's how it feels like to be 30.
my back hurts all the